Hey over there, Joe Lunchbox.
Enjoy Nightingale.
And today we've landed right here in Weeki Wachee, Florida. We're gonna go to an attraction I always wanted to go to, Weeki Wachee Springs State Park. Now, you might be like, going to a state park? Well, it's because they have live mermaid shows here. And we're gonna see live mermaids. You see, in 1946, a guy named Newton Perry scouted out an area to open a new business. First, he had to clean out these he found the spring here, and Weeki Wachee is actually named by the Seminole Indians, meaning little springs. But when Newton Perry bought this land originally, the springs were actually filled with old rusty refrigerators, abandoned cars, and it took him time to clean them out, and he had this great idea to open mermaid shows. So he invented this underwater breathing hose thing so people wouldn't need tanks and they could breathe underwater. And on October 13th, 1947, the first underwater show started here. Now, the heyday began in '59 when the springs were purchased by the American Broadcast Company, that's ABC, and they changed it. They started heavily promoting it. He had a smaller theater. They made it to a 400-seat theater, and it's still the theater that they use today. It was so popular back then, even Elvis Presley came. And now we're here. So we're gonna head inside, check it out. So step right up, let's go for this ride. Weeki Wachee, and there's a mermaid right there. There is a water park, but that has closed for the season. And you can still go swimming though in the spring. But we're here for this. Welcome to the home of the world famous Weeki Wachee mermaids. Joy, and it's almost showtime.
Let's go.
Such a cool little theater. While we're waiting for the show, there's cool footage of the old shows of mermaids drinking sodas, eating underwater.
Witness the world-famous Weeki Wachee mermaids perform and sing in the wondrous beauty of their natural spring. So get ready, get set, it won't be a bore. A spectacle of the likes you've never seen before. The time is now, and I gotta go. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
An underwater show, 15 feet beneath the shore. A beauty and a grace is a sight that you can't ignore. We're taking our breath, blowing your mind, and all that was real is left behind.
The fire is coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes in. Just surrender, cause you've been the feeling taking over. It's fire, it's freedom, it's free by the ocean. There's something bigger in your picture, everyone is holding on what you know. So tell me, do you wanna go? This show, we come through, sing it over you. Covered in all the colored lights, where the runaways are running the night. We won't come down, can't stop us now. We come through, sing it over.
Magical and marvelous underwater home, Weeki Wachee Springs. Today, I'll be your ringleader. Hey, don't you mean spring leader? And these are my lovely mer sisters of Weeki Wachee. We have been swimming in these magical waters for a very long time. But the spring itself has been here since before time even existed. The mammoths and mastodons were some of the first to play in these waters. Then we started to meet the first humans. Several native tribes called this place home. And then the European explorers arrived with their fancy costumes. Now, we get the pleasure of meeting you. All that have come before have understood the wonder and mystery of these waters.
And it pumps out 140 million gallons of water every day. And the water is over 100 years old and is filtered through a mighty aquifer system. And making it 98% pure and good enough for even a human to drink. Maybe there's something in the water?
Yeah, mermaids! And no one knew that more than our fearless founder, Newton Perry. Oh, Newt! In 1947, Newt was wowed by the wonders of Weeki.
And us, of course.
While diving in the spring, he had a revelation to build his ultimate dream. The first underwater theater with live mermaids for all to see.
That's how Weeki Wachee came to be.
This spring is truly a place of mystery, wonder, and magic. Under the water and under your feet. The caverns and caves that run beneath your seats. That feed Florida's beautiful springs and provide millions of humans with drinking water. That's why it's so important to protect this natural beauty. It was our favorite human, Newton Perry.
Oh, Newt!
Who finally, much by his own hand, got this place into ship shape. Let's show 'em, ladies! Be amazed as mermaids eat and drink underwater!
Although we could go extended periods of time without breathing, these special hoses allow us to stay underwater for much longer, and they help us with some fancy feats of buoyancy.
When we breathe in, we rise. And when we blow out bubbles, we sink. And if we hold the right amount of air, we can remain motionless. They also make us feel like we are flying. Now let's take a breath and fly!
Oh my God, I'm breathing out. Survived and today is how to describe it. I'm breathing We were the hottest tail around until that pesky mouse moved into the middle of the state.
Now, be nice. That mouse made our little mer sister famous. Speaking of famous, we've been luring famous folks to our spring from the beginning, ever since Newton Perry.
Oh, Newt!
Can you tell they really love old Newt? He's the one who brought Hollywood to Florida to film The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Fun fact, the creature guy from the Black Lagoon was our very own water boy, Rico Brownie. At 17, he helped Newt clean out our spring.
Can you believe early humans used to throw their old cars, refrigerators, and bed springs into our water home? Who does that? I know you wouldn't. Right?
Scary fact. You know that movie Jaws?
The one that kept most of you out of the water when it came out?
Well, I'll have you know, the skinny dipping swimmer in the beginning that, wrestled with that big cutie of a shark,
That was a Weeki Wachee mermaid.
Speaking of sharks, baby
Our famous friends that have stopped by over the years include Esther Williams, Don Knotts, Johnny Cash, Penn and Teller, Jimmy Buffett, and now you. You are famous, aren't you?
Yeah.
But the most memorable, the most notable was the arrival of the king of rock and roll, Elvis. Don't get us wrong, Newt Perry is the man, but Elvis was. I'm curious, how does it feel being contained behind glass in that human tank? Do they feed you through the roof? Weird. This scum is filling up our springs because of the runoff of nitrates from your heavy use of fertilizers. We're talking about the nasty, invasive algae called Lingbia, or what we call scrunch.
Oh no, Scrunch!
It just keeps coming back.
I'm Mr. Scum, and I'm Mr. Lingbia. I'm Mr. Killer of Fun. Lost to die in my clutch. I'm too much. Oh, I never want to know what your green grass feeds me. Oh, whatever I touch just can breathe in my clutch. 'Cause I'm too much.
He's too much.
I've been laughing, you take me right back. Time always try and make eyes, and don't even care if anyone sees me dancing like I can fly, and don't even think to
And we've got the world by the tail.
And it's cool. Besides the Mermaid Show, you can actually go swimming here. That Mermaid Show was so cute. You enjoyed it, Joy?
I so enjoyed it.
I love stuff that's so nostalgic, so Americana. We've been wanting to come here for years. We're going to walk around the grounds now and see what else this place has to offer. We just spotted some peacocks in the wild behind this tree. Even have an albino one. We're taking it slow. Don't want to startle them. Hello, Mr. Birds. So much other stuff you could do here, like the Mermaid Gallery restaurant. There's also a big outside amphitheater. No mermaid shows there. It's grass. It's interesting. On the day, August 16th, that's when the Southwest Florida Water Management District acquired these lands for the citizens of the state of Florida for the purpose of preservation, conservation, and recreation. So that's when it became a state park. Once upon a time, a princess was born to King Neptune. She was no ordinary mermaid. She was so fair, so pretty, and so sweet that she was called Princess Wondrous. These turbulent seas exclaimed King Neptune to his court and subjects, "Is no place for one of such beauty as Wondrous. Go to the four corners of the sea and find a place to match your personality. Find a place where the water is sweet and clear as the air, where it is neither hot nor cold, summer nor winter. Find a place where flowers bloom all the time. Find a place where she can bask in the golden rays of the sun by day and the pearly moonbeam by night." Such a place seemed impossible to find, but his loyal subjects from all the world they came, the sunfish from the Orient, the whale from the north, the marlin from the Pacific, but alas, no one had found the perfect spot. A friendly porpoise reported that he had been told of such a place by a shipwrecked sailor. This time the king summoned the gulls, pelicans, and all the birds of the sea. "Go forth and find the place of the winding waters in the land of the flowers." And from a wise flamingo he learned of Weeki Wachee, and with the help of the good fairy, in the twinkle of the eye and a wave of her magic wand, Princess Wondrous was placed on her throne in Weeki Wachee, where she has lived happily ever since. And close for this time, you actually take boat rides out here. They have a ranger experience down on Discovery Point. Ooh, a tranquil trail, or wildlife exhibit and theater. It is a wildlife experience. We found some wildlife. Look at the size of that grasshopper. Jiminy crickets, that thing is big. And this little gazebo, this piece of ground for all cool paw prints, from bobcat to possums to deer to cougar, foxes, coyotes. And here are some turtles. So this is the ranger experience where they do a show here as well. So guys, enjoying the sun, hanging on his little island in his pool.
Mermaids.
The mermaids, of course. But they put us on the map back in 1947. That's well before Disney is here in Florida. So we're an original roadside attraction. So we're pretty special. Outside the attraction area of our park, we actually have about 1,000 acres of protected land. And one of the habitats out there is a really important one. It's what's known as scrubland. Scrubland kind of looks like a western desert mixed with a grassland. It's sparsely planted for parts, but a lot of life is hidden out there. Before we head out there in the field, we do have to go over a couple things. Like my name. My name is Ranger Carrington, and I'll be your guide today. The important part to take away from that is, if something goes wrong during my program, that was not my name. It's a pretty far walk to get out there, so hopefully everyone stick with me. All right, here we go. We made it to the scrubland. I know it's a far journey, but I can see a few of my favorite plants already. And we may notice, around the base of that plant, there isn't anything growing. For a really important reason. Out here in the scrub, standing water is a very rare resource. So our rosemary bush has adapted to secrete a special toxin into the soil around it. The really important thing I see, hidden back by that sawpaw meadow, is a burrow. That burrow there can house a very special animal. Usually near low-lying vegetation, so I'm going to keep my eyes open. Looks like I found the homeowner. This here is the gopher tortoise. Gopher tortoises are one of 5 species of tortoises found here in North America. But if we head east of the Mississippi River, this is the only one that is found. Looks like we had a non-venomous species inside of here, so I'm just going to pick them up. This is a really unique species. We're lucky to see one out today. The Florida pine snake. The pine snake is a burrowing species. She spends about 80% of her time buried underground. If we take a look at this snake's head, we will see these small black pupils, elongated nasal pits, and a shovel-like head. They'll be utilizing all those things to hunt down their favorite meal, the pocket gopher. Even if that burrow isn't available, they will dig their own. They'll use that shovel-like head to move any sand and debris out of their way. If we head into the more northern parts of our state, they will look completely different. They will have a distinct diamondback-like checkering moving down their bodies, because they're trying to resemble the eastern diamondback. Luckily enough, as I said, this is a non-venomous species, and that part is fairly easy to tell. If we take a look at the snake's head, we will see that it is very rounded. A venomous snake has a more pointed head, a lot like an arrow. And then, the other way to tell, you have to look at the snake's eyes. We see with this one that there are rounded pupils. A venomous snake has a split pupil, a lot like a cat. My personal favorite is the mullet. The mullet is a silver-colored fish we see leaping up out of the water. It's really cool to watch. It's the grass. The grass we see on the bottom is eelgrass. It is a nursery for small fish and turtles, oxygen supply of the river, and the favorite food of the manatee. It's also a habitat for a lot of other critters. And I see one of those over here. I'd be a little bit careful picking this guy up, but they're a really common animal, as the name implies. This here is the common snapping turtle. They have this really dinosaur-like tail, spiky shell, and weird-looking skin. A study showed about 60% of snapping turtles will have the shells from other turtles inside their stomachs. He has an extremely long neck and is able to strike out at extremely fast speeds. That is why I'm holding him way back here. The snapping turtle can strike out about 2/3 the length of his shell. So everything above my hand here is in the red. He could reach back and grab me. This guy really just want to lay on the river's bottom and wait for small fish and things to swim by. And then once he sees that, he's going to chase it down and capture it. The most iconic animals here in the South. We have our American alligator. And one of the really cool parts about alligators is the fact that they have maternal care. Meaning that the mother alligator will hang around for the first 3 to 6 months of life. So say we see that baby alligator swimming around. Decide, hey, he looks pretty cute. I want to pick him up. Not really a great idea. Mama's about 10 feet behind him. And when we get near that baby alligator, it's going to let off a high-pitched chirp. Then she's going to come running. Hope you have the plan ready. This adult alligator can run 5 to 10 miles an hour, swim 10 to 15 miles an hour, has been seen climbing chain link fences and trees and jumping 6 feet high. If we ask the magic 8 ball on that one, it's gonna tell us outlook not so good.
Joy, definitely gotta come back one time in the summer to go down the water slide into a natural spring.
That's pretty cool.
The swimming area is awesome. There's other parts where you can rent kayaks and go around the springs. There's lots of stuff you could do here. And it's amazing that since State Park you pay, what is it, $13 a person?
For the adults.
And that includes all the stuff. It includes the swimming, includes the Mermaid Shows, the Ranger Show we just watched, which is amazing. It was very nice seeing your show. I said it was very nice seeing your show. She must have traded her voice to Ursula for something. I don't know. She's not talking to me. Mermaid Show entrance. The next show is actually The Little Mermaid at 3. But at 11, we saw the wonders of Weeki. In the gift shop, and they have great merch. From Christmas ornaments. We're purchasing one of these mermaids. They're actually made sculptures, made from real sand. We're gonna make some travel coats. We need one of these for our travel coats. You too can even get your own mermaid tail here. You know that old saying, one more for the road? They were talking about souvenirs, right? Because I found a crushed penny, one more for the road. I'm bringing home a mermaid.
Ooh.
As we're leaving the guys again, there's another gift shop that's owned by the friends of Weeki Wachee. The money goes back in. And it had some really cool looking vintage t-shirts, cool mugs, old postcards. They got us again. The gift shops always win. Incredible. I love the mermaids. I loved seeing the shows. If you loved seeing the mermaids and want to let us know, you can give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to see more fun stuff, because we're always driving around America on adventures for oddities, kitsch. This definitely fits that kitsch category. Pure Americana. Then you should subscribe to our channel and let us know what you thought of this. Leave a comment down below and all those good things. And as we're heading out, you can see they're restoring the famous Adagio pillar. It's actually a historic landmark, and it's the classic pose of the mermaids in the show. Sorry about the construction noise, but as you saw, they were restoring that famous pillar. But we just wanted to say, wow, we've been wanting to come to this since we knew about it many, many, many years ago. Loving roadside attractions, like this is the classic. When you think of Florida, you come see the mermaids at Weeki Wachee Springs. That is the roadside attraction.
Yep.
And we did it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that it was more. First, I didn't know it was a state park. It's cool that the state keeps the mermaid shows going since 1947. Then that there's like the ranger show teaching about the animals.
That was so cute.
There's a swimming hole, which we didn't do, but next time I'm going swimming.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Especially with this heat.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So, the story was awesome, and I would definitely come back here if we were back in Florida. It's not a once and done type attraction. I
can't wait to see like when the next time that we do come, like what type of show are they doing then, because they do like different ones, like I believe that they had a while ago like their Alice in Wonderland,
yeah. and like the 3 p.m. show here was The Little Mermaid. We saw the 11 o'clock show, and absolutely amazing. Merch is cool. I mean, Elvis came. It has to be good. So I think we could call it.
Yes.
Weeki Wachee Springs.
And they're done that for now.
For now. And remember folks, safe travels.
Good eats.
And live life.